BlackTop Radio. The BlackTop Radio. Mic check, mic check, mic check. You're now tuned in with Mike J. You know the host that do the most. How I feel when you got a rapper from the West Coast on the intro. So smooth. Now we can play the instrumental. BlackTop, BlackTop, BlackTop Radio. Where you can come and get your fix. We be talking about your baby mamas or some politics. First station out where you can tune and hear the hottest. Ain't no filters, you hear all of it. You ain't really popping yet if you ain't never been a guest. Wait, let me guess, you got on next. Got the airwaves on flex. Boom. BlackTop, what did you expect? BlackTop Radio. 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 The BlackTop Radio. 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 The BlackTop. BlackTop. BlackTop Radio.
It's the BlackTop. 1011. The fam. The usual suspects, of course. Mike J. Miss Milan.
Yo, yo.
Yeah, we here, okay?
We in this thing, baby.
Tag team. Back again.
I love that song.
I swear. Man, I guess we're ready for our interview. Our special guest.
Yeah.
It's on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure I give this brother a proper introduction. You know what I'm saying? This brother right here, man, he's been doing comedy for a really, really good minute, okay? And he's achieved so many feats. You know, I met this brother back in January at a comedy brunch.
Okay.
And man, for him to go up on stage, do his damn thing, and then he's got such a personality. He was so willing to share knowledge and just kick it with us, and so personable, man. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come and to his room and his open mic up there in Baltimore, man. And it was amazing, man. This brother is putting so many good talents on.
That's dope.
From that city, man. So, you know, of course, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you all the way from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
Is he stumping with the big dog?
He should be, ladies and gentlemen. He is an artist. He is a stand-up comedian, man. You might have seen him on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
You might have seen him on Heart of the City with Kevin Hart.
Period.
You might have seen him at many comedy clubs, ladies and gentlemen, and many comedy stages. But of course, stumping with the big dogs here at the BlackTop.
Did that sound like a pit today?
It was a little bit pit-ish. It was pit-ish. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Sir Alex is in the building. What's up, big dog?
What's up, family? How y'all doing, man?
Man,
give me 1 second.
We good, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you for taking time out to hit us up here,
yes,
man.
Thank you.
And yeah. What'd you say?
I'm sorry. I was talking to my little brother, family.
Oh, okay.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, man, good to have you, man. How's your day going? How's your week going, brother?
Oh, man, pretty good, man. I work in the Baltimore City public school system, so it's our last week of school. I'm around there doing nothing. Hello, come on now.
As it should be.
Oh.
Juneteenth is next week.
That's right. Man, so I knew you couldn't wait for this day to end and summer vacation.
Man, listen to me. Only kids is in school right now. There's 3 types of kids in school. Foreigners, you know, foreigners don't play about education.
Right.
They don't care if there's something going on. They sending them little African kids to school. That's what I want you to know. Kids who mother don't trust them in the house all too much, a little bit like that. Take your little bad ass to school. Can I say that? I know.
Yeah, you good.
All right, yeah. Take yourself to school. Them is in school, and then the other kind of kids who's in school, and it's sad to say, is the kids who ain't got no food in their house, huh?
Yeah.
They know they can come to school and get a meal or orange or something. Hello.
I've been there before. I'm
trying to tell you, that's the only 3 types of kids in school.
Wow.
So how'd you get in? Which came first, comedy or teaching?
Comedy, man. When comedy came about, I wasn't thinking about teaching in the slightest. So I actually do stand-up comedy. I do spoken word poetry. I act, I host, I curate some events like my man Mike was saying. But the story, man, is really ironic. I really wanted to do comedy as a kid, man. So I would watch, like, you know how you'd be with your family, you see a comedian come on stage, I would tell, like, my mother, my grandmother, like, yo, I want to do comedy. You know, and they would say to be more realistic, be a doctor, a lawyer, something's going to make you money, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so that's what I kind of thought growing up. And then coming up out of high school, I guess I kind of thought I was going into the military. I stopped smoking some weed and get to myself together, get down there to the, you know, to take the test and everything. Them folk ain't let me in because I had too many cavities in my teeth.
What, in the military?
I promise you, miss, I wouldn't lie to you. I don't know you. What I'm telling you is my life had a different type of trajectory. I was trying to, you know, I didn't have a plan for my life. So my dad suggested the military. I was at ROTC and such. So I went down there. So I stopped smoking weed. I stopped smoking weed for a long time. I was working out. I was studying. You know, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm going to get me something going on with my life. I get down there and them folk ain't let me in. I had my recruiter drop me off at the weed man house. Hello?
What? They didn't even offer to get your shit.
In hindsight, you gotta think about it. Like, if I would have went to war or something like that, and my teeth would have, you know, been causing me excruciating pain, I'm a liability,
right,
to everybody I'm around. So I understand, you know, in retrospect. But crazy enough, you know, so that went from me like, okay, let's figure out life. Going on job interviews with a dear friend of mine. We leave an interview, we sit in his car, he's telling me, like, you know, that he writes poetry and he always wanted to do stand-up comedy. I'm like, bro, that's crazy, bro. I write poetry. I want to do stand-up. He like, nah, no bullshit. He like, spit something. I spit one of my poems. He like, yo, that's chills. He spit one of his. I'm like, bro, that's chills. He like, bro, I know a guy that just started doing comedy. So it went from him knowing a guy and us just Googling open mics, and, you know, man, the rest is history, man. So many stories of just guy doing what he do best, man.
That's word, bro.
So y'all kind of tag teamed it together.
Yeah. So we had a tag, and it's crazy, man. The brother's name is Alton. So when we hit the scene, we were always together. It was Alex and Alton.
That's
you know
dope.
what I mean? And so I've been like this, excuse me, so mind you, like, my dad's a pastor, but my uncle is in the streets. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So, like,
that's the both worlds.
Right.
So, like, my dynamic has been crazy for forever, you know? So I'm like 21 years old. I'm pulling up the bars and lounges with suits on, like, y'all got comedy, right? You know, so
They think you ready to pass the collection plate.
yeah, and, you know, so like,
Man, who let the usher in?
No, but like, also, like, I'm pulling up in the hood, full-blown dice games are going on. You know, I'm shooting dice in Stacey Adams, you know what I mean? And so...
Well, how was that with you having a dad as a pastor? Did he really support the comedy thing? Because you know how some parents that are pastors are really strict about certain things.
So my dad not only is a pastor, but my dad grew up, he's a really interesting man, and our relationship is awesome now. But so he grew up in the hood, found a way to make him some money, got himself a nice life, nice wife, you know, he's living in a good part of town. And so, you know, when I get up at that age, so let's backtrack. I sat around for a year after high school. My dad's like, no. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you can't do this. You know, like, you was in ROTC, like, we gonna get you there, right? So that's the first push. So after that, it's like, yo, come on, bro, we gotta get you a job. Ooh. I guess a job. My dad tells me, he's like, yo, get a job, I'll buy you a car. Like that. So I get a job, my dad buys me a car. I get fired from my job because immediately after I got like my job, I found comedy. You know, mind you, I told you I was looking for a job as I had the idea, like, yo, I'm gonna do comedy. And so, like, you know, I'm like calling out of work every now and again to go to shows. Like, I'm missing work to do comedy. And from my dad's perspective, it's like, yo, like, you're telling me like you're doing poetry and comedy, but bro, you're at bars every night.
Right.
I know you're smoking weed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not making any money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not exactly sure what you're doing every day, champ, but it's not being profitable to your life. And that caused some rigmarole. And I just learned that word, rigmarole. It caused some rigmarole. And what happened was, because I've been I've been funny my whole life, you know, like the class, like you know, like everybody in my life knows I'm funny. And so when you start doing anything, you don't get the support you think you should or that you really deserve. Right. And so when I started doing comedy, I'm like, yo, I'm telling people I'm doing comedy. I'm having shows, like nobody's pulling up. There's a gentleman by the name of Cleon, the comedian out of Baltimore, a very big comic now. He's talking about how he's moving to Atlanta. He's like, yo, anybody want to go? For me, my man, and then like 5 or 6 other comics are all like that. You know, we're going to chase our dreams. We're going to Atlanta. This is like 8 years ago. You know, so I go to Atlanta, I learn some stuff, experience some stuff. I come back, start throwing my own shows. Like, to this point, like, now I done got funny. Like, I know what I'm doing now, right? And so one night I'm at some comedy show, and a lot of people know my dad in this town. Some people who know my dad saw me perform really, really well. And they, like, called my dad and told him I did well. He calls me the next day randomly. He's like, you know I'm proud of you, right?
Oh, that's dope.
And so I'm on the phone like, no, I really don't know that. Somebody else told you I'm good. But nevertheless, the second time, or the moment, I feel like in my dad's eyes, he saw and knew like I had something for real. 2 different moments. One, so my dad's a pastor. Some people have started recommending me to perform in churches, because like I do churches and schools and stuff like that. And so like I started performing at his friends' churches. You know what I mean? And so it was like his friends are like, yo, like I just had Alex, he was really good, he killed it. So like it forced him to earn a respect, because he knew like, 1, I was good at it, and 2, I was making money from it. And then when I finally gotten on TV, you know, and told him like I wanted him to come down for the record, and like that was his second time seeing me perform. He never saw me perform. He saw me perform, like saw me host something, but other than that, that was his second time seeing me.
Word.
So all in all, man, our relationship, you know, that whole thing has been something.
So talk about this opportunity, man. Like getting to meet Kevin Hart and him putting you on Comedy Central, Heart of the City. Like how did you get to that point? How was that experience, and what has that done for you after the fact? Like, how has the comedy career been for you after that moment?
So I'd like to take this moment to say 2 things. The first is, it's really, really ironic, man. So the opportunity came to Baltimore for the Heart of the City. Like 30 comics auditioned. And, you know, it takes a while to hear back for that kind of stuff. To this particular point, like comedy wasn't, I'm not saying it was slow, but it wasn't making me, like I was realizing how broke I really was. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, I'm smart, I'm talented, I'm strong. You know, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm not sexy as a guy, I'm kind of handsome. Like, you know, like I can be a plumber and make a way. You know, so I was feeling the weight of like, yo, should I stop this shit? And sure enough, I happen to be outside right now in the neighborhood I grew up in. I was talking to a few friends of mine. I walked across the street to like talk to y'all. But I was on this exact street that I'm standing on right now, walking to the corner store when my phone rings. Now, mind you, I walk to the corner store by myself. All my friends are like, you know, at the other end of the street. Walk to the store, I'm having these thoughts like, bro, I gotta figure something out, you know, because the alternative is I'm gonna be out here with these guys doing something I probably shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm walking to the store having this thought. My phone rings, bro. It's the other executive producer for Heart of the City. You know, so it's Joey Wells and another guy that produces on the TV and film side. He tells me I made the cut. I start crying. I'm like, man, you don't have a clue what I just was thinking.
Right.
You know, and so I say that to say that the first thing I want to say to y'all, to anybody listening, to whatever, man, is like, don't give up on your dreams, because the moment you give up, that next moment could be the moment everything changes in your life. You know what I mean? So that was just crazy for me. But you know, from that, they like came back to Baltimore. They filmed us. They filmed our sets. They filmed a few things around. Then they fly us to LA. We meet Kev. We film with Kev. And I had knew, you know, Mike, you probably can attest to this, but I know comics who have been on TV once. They did Comic View. They did Def Jam, but that's all they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not, you know, and no downplay to them, no disrespect to them, because to have done that is an amazing honor, right? But in my mind, I'm like, it's not enough for me.
Right.
I want more. And so that's been my mentality to this date. You know, I try not to walk around with a chip on my shoulder like, yeah, I did this one thing, so I'm this guy. Because, you know, like, some of the people who did Comic View right now work at AutoZone, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you could be one or two guys, you know, so it's good to be humble as well. But I'll say this, I say that to say the second thing I wanted to say is, a lot of my friends who have done some things and maybe a wilding out or this, that, or the third, they have been telling me like, Alex, you don't use what you've done enough. You know, like, I don't walk around, you know, like, I don't lead with the fact that I've been on Comedy Central.
That's a word,
I lead
right
with
there.
the fact that I'm a funny comic that has been doing comedy for 10 years. I've done comedy at the smallest bars, the biggest churches, you know what I mean? So, I lead with my experience over, I lead with the 10-year experience over the 5-day experience that was, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And so the second thing that I'll say is, you know, like, so this is what my homeboy says, that I have something called imposters.
I was literally about to say that. That's so crazy, because I feel you when you said that. Like, a lot of the times we don't realize how much we really accomplished until somebody says it back to us.
Agree.
You know, or when you look at what you, so, and, you know, in one right in regard, comparison is the thief of joy. However, appropriation is what we really need. So, I'm working on this new, like, perspective and comedy about appropriation, right? But if you look at it in the lens of, like, you know, Mike, look at what you're doing in comedy. You know, you're on the radio right now, you're producing shows, you know, you can drive up and come hang out, fuck with me. You know, you're featuring, you know, you're doing something.
Yeah.
But there's another comic in your town that's not doing that.
Correct.
Of course, there's a guy that may be doing twice as much as you are right now, but there's also a guy that's not doing half of what you're doing.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And, you know, that level of appropriation is, you know, and so it's a fine line of differentiation. You know what I mean?
Dang, that was deep. I like that. I like how you put that.
Listen, and my cash app is $.
Or they can come see you this weekend.
I know how to raise me. You know what? They can do that. They, no, not can. They should come and see me this weekend. Let's do that.
Y'all heard the man.
Come on now. See me and hug my neck. I love folk because folk love me.
Talk about, Baltimore comedy scene, man. You know, here in Richmond and Virginia, it's very different, right? And I love traveling doing comedy shows because not just to perform on different stages, but just see what the atmosphere around the comedy family in different cities. You know, I went to Philadelphia. It seemed like everybody was behind everybody. There was no issues. There was no craziness. Of course, you might have one or two, you know, drama-filled people. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
No, let me tell you something. I've lived in Baltimore, of course. I lived in Atlanta twice. I lived in Vegas for about 5 or 6 months. I lived in Chicago for 3 months. Things are... So, y'all are old enough to remember the show Arthur. You remember when Arthur went to his friend's house? So, remember, Arthur's friend came to his house and he was so neat and awesome. And Arthur's parents were like, yo, you should be like him. And he went to Arthur's homeboy house, and Arthur's homeboy house was, you know, his room was dirty. He was doing the same thing. Like, I think that's a very large lesson. And this is not to dampen or talk about any of our comedy communities, man, but you know, there are cliques in every community.
Of course.
There's elitism in every community. There's a sense of community. There's an overall, we can say shit about each other. Y'all can, you know, and so there's a lot, you know. They say Baltimore is a very crab in the barrel city, to which I say, which city is not?
That's a fact. Yeah.
I think it go either or whatever city you in, to be honest. I don't think it's just...
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. Like it's no different, you know? Like, even then when you start traveling the world, like, there's a hood everywhere. It's broke people everywhere. It's poor people everywhere. It's good people. It's easy people. Like, it's going to be... You know, the Bible say the sick gonna be among us always. You know what I'm saying? Like, a nigga always gonna have a cold, bro. Like,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's medicine everywhere, but a nigga always gonna have a cold.
That's so bad. So, what's the big goal for Sir Alex, man? What's the ultimate goal for you?
I want to feed my family, man. I want to be good. You know, like, I want to feed my family for real.
That's
you know, so I have some ideas for, like, so I really enjoy the shows that I produce. You know, you got to come catch one of those, bro. Those are way better than just the rums and the mics. But, you know, so, you know, I wish for that stuff to prosper and grow. You know, I wish for the, you know, I just wish to be, I don't know, man. In one right in regard, I'm open to where this life is taking me. I've begun to realize something over the last few years, that it's really enough money for everybody. I promise it is. Like, there's a lane for everybody. There are people who do, like, right now, prime example, I know a guy who he's be like the beer brand Corona. He works for Corona. He does like 5 events for them a year. They pay him $20,000 per event, and he has more Corona at his house than all of us can drink.
I'm gonna be hey Holmes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hey man, I got the limes, bro. I got the limes.
You understand what I'm saying to you, though?
That's a fact, man.
And so, you know, he makes $100,000 a year from Corona. Yeah. And so when he's in his town doing the rums for $200 or a weekend here or this, that, or third, it's for the love of comedy.
Yeah.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, God has blessed me to link with an organization. This year's been the second year. They told me I'm coming back next year. They're called Black Public Media. They're like a media publication company. They work with, like, PBS, and they help fund, like, documentaries and work with black storytellers.
Oh, okay.
They have this award ceremony every year where they, like, give away all this money for initiatives. They bring me to host that.
That's dope.
Like, so their budget for me for that 2 days beats what I go get during a weekend in some cities. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's only and it's only 2 days because I come the first day and watch all of the pitches so that when I host, I'm well informed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you up to date on Arthur episodes.
Yeah, stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, but it's like also
got his fist ball right now.
Clever and having amazing memory.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Arthur was my favorite.
No, for sure. But like, you know, even to like what church, like there's a few churches in Baltimore that commissioned me to put their comedy shows together. Like they have a comedy show maybe once or twice a year, and they're like, Alex, you know, you're funny. You know, we know some of your family members, or you know, you've worked with us, whatever. Find us the clean comics. This is the budget. Woo woo. Like what those churches pay is more than what we in these bars and lounges get.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, and so I say all of these things to say that there's really a lane for everybody. You know what I mean? And so, like, imagine as a comic, you are doing voiceovers for a video game. You understand
You're
what I'm
absolutely
saying?
right, yeah.
Grand Theft Auto has 30 characters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody gets paid to do those voiceovers stuff.
Which is why I never understood the crabs in the barrel, man. Because, I mean, everybody can, there's a lane for everybody.
It's so much. So much.
And I'll give you the caveat to that statement. And in one regard, I do understand it because crabs aren't meant to be in the barrel.
Correct.
So who the hell put me in this barrel? And whatever I've got to do to get out is exactly what I'm going to do.
Love that.
What I've never understood is the crab that gets to the top of the barrel, sees that there's more life than that, and pushes a nigga off of him. Like, get the fuck off of me. I'm gone. That's the guy I've never understood.
That's a fact, man. So what's coming up for Sir Alex, man? What shows you got coming?
I'd be in Virginia with Mike J, huh?
Come on out.
That's what's
in
going
the
on.
bird.
Anything other than that, man, you can grab me on Instagram at SIR_ALEXR. That's what you can do. Or you can pull up on me. I'll be there at Mike J event, man, live doing my thing.
Word, man. Come check us out.
Yeah,
June 22nd. Okay, get your tickets. They are still available on Eventbrite. I am hosting, headlining is the man you hear right here. Okay, Sir Alex, plus many more dope comics, bro. You know, have you been to Petersburg before?
No, this will be my first time in Petersburg, Virginia.
Okay, I'm just gonna say.
Don't be alarmed. We're Negroes.
I'm from Baltimore, man. I done been to a few places. I ain't. But listen, if you telling me I might need to like. Now, if you telling me I might need to bring my pistol or something to that particular thing, tell me that right now. I will bring my gun to Petersburg.
No, you're not.
Okay. All right, well. Listen, I didn't know what it was. Y'all talking about
No, you good. You good in the hood. You good.
You just might see a lot of lace fronts and bonnets. That's about it. That's all.
Okay. Hey, listen now. That's my kind of goddamn lace front and a bonnet on. Bring your ass.
All we need to know is who fried chicken around this.
Bring your ass to the show and tell your baby father at DI.
Hilarious, man. Get your tickets.
Lace fronts and bonnets sometimes come with a crazy baby daddy, and I don't want to deal with that right
Typically.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. Well, make sure y'all come through, man. June 22nd, Petersburg, Virginia. This man right here, Sir Alex, hitting the stage with yours truly, man. And again, tickets available on Eventbrite. Shout out to Traditions Wings and Grill, man, who is hosting us and housing this craziness, man. But of course, Sir Alex, man, you know, I had to reach out to you, had to get your voice on this show and on this station, man, because I just want to say thank you. Bro.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank
Mike,
you.
Do me a favor. Now, ladies, we done sat and talked all this time. Will y'all be at the show or not?
I'm gonna pull up on y'all on Saturday.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up.
Okay,
We gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna be looking for y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all holler at me. I appreciate y'all. Once again, follow me on Instagram at SIR_ALEXR on Instagram. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here.
Thank you so much for calling in.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yes,
right.
sir. That is Sir Alex right here, man. Stumping with the big dogs here at the Black Top. We appreciate you, big dog, man.